thinking it's open. I think it's open.
This should be.
You know, right?
This is being gutted.
I don't know. I'm gonna wait for the guy to.
And this is being gutted. This is being gutted. I'm gonna explain something to you guys about this whole gut job. Because you can't send regular plainclothes men in there. They can't send them in there. That's mold. This apartment and this apartment is molded. It's molded. You can't send regular men in there without a gas mask and a hazmat suit. Look at this. That means this person here, they have to be evacuated. They all got to be evacuated out of here because that's mold spores. Now, the window to the right, that I showed you guys, right? That window is now open. Those guys went in there, okay? Plain clothes. They're not wearing any hazmat clothing. I don't see any purple mask. It's a white hazmat jumpsuit that they're supposed to be wearing when they go in there, okay? That's number one. Number two, they just opened up that window to the right, okay? Which means they just released mold spores, okay? When you tamper with mold and asbestos, you have to secure it. You can't tamper with mold and asbestos until after you secure the property. You have to put plastic around the windows on the insides, right? Plastic around the doors. Now, I went into that building. You notice there wasn't any plastic around the doors. So people go, well, they just got there. No, they didn't just get there, because the videos that I just showed, it showed that they started working. They started working. So they can't go in there. They cannot go in there. If they're in there, they're going to probably get sick. Like really, really badly. Like pneumonia type sick. Because one, though that window, it was closed and it should have stayed closed. It should have stayed closed. And what they should be doing is having like a plastic covering the inside of that window where the light is, and having some type of like a thing at the bottom that's vacuuming the air, a vacuum pulling the air into that vacuum inside that apartment. Okay, that these apartments should be sealed. Now, why are you making a big? Because I used to live across the street. Remember when I did the mold abatement, the 11 mold abatements video? Yes, I was living on that side. And I was living on that strip. I was living on that strip over there. I would say, you see where this window is with the AC? Okay, you see where the camera is? Right there, the traffic camera, and the window right after that. I was in there. And when they opened up my walls, the adjoining building, right? The adjoining building had to be evacuated also. Yes. So the building with this light, the window with the light, and the window with the AC, those two buildings, those two apartments need to be evacuated. They have to be evacuated because they have to be gutted. That AC, take that AC out. Otherwise, get rid of it. Get rid of it. That AC has to go in the garbage. They got to give that resident a new AC, the one that's right there. They got to give that resident a new AC. This is the reason why me and the former resident leader, the former tenant association president, Mrs. Rose, this is why we're pissed off, because this is what we were trying to tell these people. This is what we were trying to tell them. All of these apartments have to be gutted. You can't just put new renovations in these apartments. You have to gut them. You have to. They wasn't listening. They wasn't listening. So where's the new? She she retired off, retired off, and now they got this new one on here. This new one on here who threw us under the bus. Threw us under the bus. Like, all of a sudden you're going to act like you care? You never cared. You didn't care when you was the vice president and Ms. Rose was the president. You didn't care then. And you don't care now. But you're going to act like you care. She's going to start acting like she cared, when in actuality she really didn't, and she never did. So, but why would she be acting? Because election is coming around. This is July 22nd or 23rd, 2024. Election is coming around, so she wants to be reelected in. And if nobody votes, then she is going to be elected in. Anyway, this is where there's a problem. All of these apartments should have been gutted. This is a mess. So, those guys went in there. Those men went in there. They're inside there. And why? You see them moving around, right? They have no hazmat uniform on. I'm talking about the jumpsuit, the purple gas mask, so forth and so on. They don't have that on. They're going to get sick. They're going to get sick. They're going to get sick. They should not be allowed to go into that apartment without securing their apartment and securing themselves. They're going to get sick. They're in there. They shouldn't be in there. And that window should not be open. You see, now, if this was NYCHA, if this was the New York City Housing Authority, if this development was still under Section 9, no way. They would have done this, but then they would have pedaled back. They would have pedaled back. Because you see, I'm trying to get this. They would have pedaled back. They should not be in there. Those men should not be in there. They should not be in there. From this building here to the left, straight on, should be gutted. From the 3rd floor, straight down to the 1st floor, should have been gutted. The A line, the B line, should have been gutted. Should have been all gutted. Gut. And then, when I say gut, I mean gut. Change out wirings. Change out the pipings in the kitchen, in the bathroom. Change out the tiles on the floor. Throw it all out. Throw everything out. You see these men is in there? They should not be in there. They should not be in there. And they should have... Okay, so now he's closing the windows. He's closing the windows. But he shouldn't be in there. He shouldn't be in there without a jumpsuit. Oh my God. Why do you care, Ms. Collins? That's a good question. Why do I care? This right here is where I used to live, right? Now, they took me, I was at 1480 Park Place. I moved from 1480 Park Place when I was, that was my first apartment over there. And then I moved to 2041 Pacific Street. And that's where me and Jacob became really, really sick. They had the asbestos abatement. They had the mold abatement. They did all that. They did all that monstrosity. I was in the hospital with pneumonia in my lungs. Okay? And this is after I took NYCHA to court under a reasonable accommodation. Yes, we went to a hearing, adjournments, hearings, all that. NYCHA lied. They breached, they purged, they did everything. Okay? So they said, oh my God, Ms. Collins is in the hospital with pneumonia in her lungs, and she pulled back all these contempts from us. Oh my gosh. It's like, yes, it's 2018. Ms. Collins is in the hospital with pneumonia in her lungs. Okay? She took us to court in 2017. Right. So I should not have been in the hospital with pneumonia in my lungs. So 3 days out of the hospital, they took me out of that apartment at 2041 and brought me down here to that. Okay? And that's where the 11 mold abatements took place. 11 mold, trying to breathe. 11 mold abatements. 3 days with me coming out of the hospital. My nose was bleeding like crazy. I said, you guys want me to go back into the hospital? You try and kill me. My lawyers came running. Healthy Homes staff came running. Okay? All of NYCHA staff, management, came running. They was like, oh my God, what have we done? What have we done? Did they put you in a hotel? Nothing. They didn't put me in a hotel. They put me in nothing. And they knew I was just out of the hospital with having pneumonia in my lungs. Both me and Jacob. They knew about it. And they didn't care. So, when they broke down the walls and I saw the black mold in here, when I was like, oh, when I started to cuss, all right. So, when they did that, after they did that to this apartment, they should have gutted this apartment. And after they gutted this apartment, they should have gutted this apartment straight on till morning. Because when they came in and they broke down the wall in this apartment, they had to break down the wall in that one too. Yes, they did. They had to break down this person's wall, that person's wall over there. They had to break down their wall. So, that's crazy. There's no way you can be doing a mold abatement, black mold, and windows are, this is no hazmat suits on. That's not safe. These apartments are not safe. These apartments, they need to be gutted by professionals. These men are not professionals to do this type of work, because if they were, they would be wearing purple gas masks and hazmat suits. And mold. That's mold. Here, mold here. Lies.